Hi guys, it is Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about breaking generational cycles. You know, this is a topic that we talk a lot about on this channel. I think there's a lot of people who are dealing with intergenerational trauma and generational cycles, and it's really hard to conceptualize a way out of that maze, you know, and it feels like a maze because there's no clear guidance on how to heal, how to get through it, which way to turn, how to get stronger, how to approach the situation. You know, most people feel like they are on their own. So in this video today, I want to highlight some of the things that kind of points to generational cycles occurring in your life, in your family, and then I want to take you into how to break the cycle. So let's go ahead and just get started. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For all of you who are subscribed and participating, thank you so much. Your participation on the channel really does help. The thumbs up that you give, the subscriptions that you hit when I say subscribe, commenting on the channel, sharing your experiences, all of that really adds up in the world of YouTube. The benefits for you in today's video is that I'm going to highlight generational cycles, and then I'm going to go into how to break them. But before I do that, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Tamara, and I'm an internationally and board certified trauma therapist, but I'm also licensed in mental health, and I specialize within my practice working with children, teens, and families. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into this video. So intergenerational trauma or generational cycles really has a lot to do with, repeated patterns of issues, of circumstances, situations in your life, in your family over time. The reason it's a generational cycle is not so much because it repeats over the course of your family's longevity, right? Or over the course of your family's lineage, over the years that family members have struggled with whatever that is. That's not the only reason why it happens. The reason why intergenerational trauma is a problem, or it happens or exists within your family, is because it's a negative pattern within the family, right? It creates a generational problem. And it's a problem that circulates and gets worse as the generations go on. Okay, that's really what intergenerational trauma is. It's not so much that it repeats, it's the fact that it's negative. It impacts the individual in such a way that it alters their life, their mindset, their emotions, their behaviors. And it's not something that's easy to just get rid of because your mind tells you, I need to get rid of this, okay? Some families refer to intergenerational trauma as a curse, as a family curse. And one of the reasons why is because it's something that continues. There's really no clear indication, for the most part, in these kind of families, that trauma is going to continue. The only way that you know that generational cycle is going to be repeated is because it's a toxicity attached to it, and the toxicity is so strong that it throws you off. It doesn't allow you a chance to kind of heal and bounce back, right? So it's something that stays with you for a while. The other thing that makes it intergenerational or generational in a cycle is that you only notice its negative effects in hindsight. Okay, you only notice the negative effects in hindsight. Otherwise, it just looks like it's a typical situation and you're experiencing what Auntie Susu experienced, right? So generational trauma and intergenerational trauma is pretty complex. And so as a matter of fact, I'm working on a lot of research and articles and maybe even a book specifically about intergenerational trauma. So I'll keep you updated on that. But I want to highlight some of the ways that you can identify that intergenerational trauma is actually occurring in your life. All right. So how do we know that we are struggling with a generational cycle that really cannot easily be broken just because my willpower or I want to break that? Well, let's start with the first thing. All right. The way that you know that generational cycles are occurring in your life and your family is usually negative patterns of drug and alcohol use. That is not a situation where you just look at that and say, okay, Uncle Bill and Uncle Tom and Uncle Ken and Uncle Bo, right, was a heroin addict or a marijuana user or an alcoholic, right? But I won't become that. Well, I mean, you've had 3 generations of individuals within your family that have struggled with, repeated alcoholism or repeated drug abuse. And it's to a point where the individual is in legal trouble. The individual feels weak without it and unable to cope. The individual also goes back to it despite the negative consequences of using it. That's alcoholism. That's drug abuse, right? So if it's a repeated pattern within your family and it has negatively impacted your family for generations in those 3 or 4 individuals in your family, then you know that's a generational cycle, okay? It's intergenerational trauma, especially if there has been trauma that has resulted from that particular situation, right? I talk about alcoholism right up here in this video and some of the things that those families and those children deal with, so you understand a little bit more what I mean by that. There's trauma that comes from having parents that are alcoholics and drug addicts. It's not a normal kind of a home environment for a child, and so trauma can occur. If that's happening over multiple generations in your life, you've got intergenerational trauma, okay? Next thing is untreated or poorly treated mental health. Mental health is a complicated situation. You have to figure out what the person's diagnosis is, whether medication will or will not work, what psychotherapist or psychiatrist to go to. Then you have to determine if the individual is actually benefiting from the medication and the therapist and the doctor. So it gets really complicated. And every situation is different. But if you have a person in your family that had schizophrenia and never got it treated and was a substance abuser, then the next generation had bipolar disorder that was very uncontrollable. There was a suicide attempt. Then the next generation, right, which might be a grandchild or a child, has depression and suicidal thoughts, then you know that this is a generational cycle. So I had a great-grandmother, a grandmother, and a daughter that had mental illness. I think I'm dealing with a generational cycle, and so that's really what's happening there. If it's untreated and poorly treated, you may also deal with a generational cycle of, being incarcerated and that individual being homeless, or that individual struggling with substance abuse, or that individual prostituting, right? It's a generational cycle. Most individuals with really severe bipolar disorder, more, specifically when they're manic, they end up, what's the word I'm looking for, gambling, or they end up, selling drugs and things like that. If you have a generational cycle of that, then okay, this is a generational curse. This is a generational curse. This is intergenerational trauma. All right. The next thing is failed marriages. I think that's something that we fail to look at, right? We just think, well, that relationship didn't work. That one over there didn't work either. Okay, Aunt Susu's marriage didn't work, but mine will work. That may be true, but the reality is this, that if it's a generational cycle, then maybe there's something going on with the kind of guys that you're attached to, or the kind of guys that are attached to you, or maybe there's something wrong with the examples you've had in years prior regarding what kind of men to date or what kind of women to date. It's really hard to figure that out. There's a lot of research done on epigenetics. I did a video a couple months ago, maybe last year, on epigenetics right up here, and I talk a little bit about the genetic code of intergenerational trauma, and I will get back into that in this video because there's a lot of interesting research that's new on this topic. But we won't go there. But some people believe that genetics, trauma that occurs through the genes can actually cause these issues, like failed marriages and attraction to certain kind of guys, and attraction to men who are thugs and abusive, and so we'll get to that at another time, guys, in another video. But in this video, I just want to kind of stay structured and focused, and most of the time generational cycles involve failed marriages. Okay, without looking at the genetic piece of the trauma, if we're just looking at the genetic cycles, there are failed marriages in these particular families. Okay, the next thing is incarceration. There's a lot of people that I work with who have extended family members who are incarcerated. Is that a generational curse or a generational cycle of trauma? Perhaps one, father goes to prison for robbery. The son goes to prison for drug abuse. The cousin goes to prison for, homicide, right? And in some families, that's exactly how it goes. The other thing too that we can put in this category would be murder or early deaths, right? That's something else that tends to happen within families. I'm sure you've heard of families where they bury one loved one, and then 2 weeks later, here's a friend that dies, and then 3 weeks later after that, the grandmother dies. And then in some really bad situations, maybe a month after that, they die or somebody else dies. There's families like that as well, where it looks like there's like a trickling effect, right? Or there's a triple effect. It just starts here and it just moves and you can't stop it. Some people believe that that's a generational curse. Okay. The next one is rape and sexual assault. There's many situations involving rape, child molestation, abuse, sexual assault, where, the individual who's typically a child is molested or raped or abused. They grow up and their child may also be raped, molested, or abused, right? And it just continues through the family. It really happens in families that are secluded and in rural areas where there's, little eyes on families. And those are typically the families that are engaged in incest. So generational cycles can happen there as well. Okay. Another thing would be absent fathers. That's what I'm trying to think of. Absent fathers. Usually that happens in generational cycles as well. Single mothers, my aunt was a single mother. My mother was a single mother. My grandmother was a single mother, right? You've heard of that. And that tends to be a generational thing as well. So, these are generational cycles, guys, that you're likely to experience, and that can be categorized as intergenerational trauma. So, I will pause here, guys. In the next video, I'm going to talk about kind of breaking the cycle of intergenerational trauma in these generational cycles, because they happen in a lot of situations, even in domestic violence situations, they occur. So we will get on to that in the next video. Thank you so much for coming to this video today, guys. I encourage you to give it a thumbs up, to push it up in the search results, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button to stick around with us for the next video. Make sure you hit that bell button, guys, because I've posted a few videos and you guys were like, oh my God, I didn't know you posted a video. So if you want to know when I post a video right away, go ahead and hit that bell button every video. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.